The very architecture of your brain shifts when you're alone compared to when you're with others, a profound physiological reorientation far beyond mere mood. When you're in solitude, your default mode network, a system responsible for self-referential thought, introspection, and future planning, lights up with intensity. This isn't simply idleness, it's a demanding internal narrative construction that constantly runs, even during brief moments of quiet reflection. Yet, introduce another person, or even the idea of another person, and your brain immediately reallocates resources. Social cognition, the complex interplay of reading expressions, predicting intentions, and managing your own presentation, demands significant processing power. The mere potential of being observed, a phenomenon known as the audience effect, fundamentally alters your cognitive and even motor performance, even if that observer is imaginary. This isn't just psychological, it's a neurochemical pivot. Studies reveal that during social interaction, your brain prioritizes areas associated with mentalizing and theory of mind, pulling resources from introspective tasks. We become external processors, tuning our internal state to resonate with the social environment, often without conscious effort, fundamentally altering our perception of time and even our pain thresholds. Social interaction, from an evolutionary perspective, is a far more ancient and often heavier cognitive load than solving complex mathematical problems alone. Our ancestral environments demanded constant vigilance and performance appraisal within groups, a survival imperative encoded deep within our neural circuitry. This perpetual scan for social cues, is this person friend or foe, trustworthy or deceptive, consumes vast amounts of metabolic energy. Consider the extreme processing required just to hold a casual conversation. Simultaneous interpretation of language, tone, body language, memory recall for shared context, and continuous self-monitoring for appropriate responses. This is a higher-order, multi-threaded computation your brain performs effortlessly, but not without cost. When this external input stream ceases, those resources are suddenly available for an entirely different kind of processing. The brain's dedicated social network, encompassing areas like the temporal parietal junction and medial prefrontal cortex, actively disengages from intense external focus during solitude. This allows for a deeper dive into abstract thought, planning, and memory consolidation, activities that are often disrupted by the mere expectation of social engagement. It's a switch from outward vigilance to inward exploration. The hormonal landscape within you shifts dramatically depending on whether you're alone or with others. Oxytocin, often dubbed the love hormone, isn't just for bonding. It's a crucial social signal amplifier, enhancing trust and empathy, but also potentially increasing anxiety in novel social situations. Its presence changes how you perceive risk and connection. When alone, the absence of this oxytocin surge isn't a deficit. It's a different neurochemical state that permits other functions. Cortisol, the stress hormone, might increase due to vigilance in an unobserved environment, but critically, it also allows for the release from social allostatic load. The constant effort of managing social presentation and interaction subtly drains us. Solitude offers a unique form of cognitive offloading, a chance for your brain to process information without the added layer of social filters and expectations. This can lead to a reduction in the chronic, low-level stress associated with maintaining social roles. The relief isn't just psychological, it's a recalibration of your neuroendocrine system, freeing resources for internal repair and creative thought that social demands often suppress. You are not one singular monolithic self. You are a collection of context-dependent algorithms, constantly adapting to your perceived audience. The social self is a nuanced performance, a carefully curated persona influenced by social roles, expectations, and the need for belonging. This self often operates under externalized self-awareness, judging actions through the eyes of others. In solitude, however, this externalized awareness recedes, allowing a different, private self to emerge. This self is unfiltered, less concerned with impression management, and more attuned to internal states, values, and desires that might contradict your public facade. This can be unsettling because it exposes discrepancies between who we portray and who we fundamentally are. Research into self-discrepancy theory reveals that the greater the gap between your actual self, ideal self, and ought self, what others expect, the more psychological distress you experience, particularly in social settings. Solitude offers a unique space to reconcile these fragmented identities, to truly confront the often contradictory aspects of your being without external pressure. Solitude isn't merely the absence of others, it's a fundamental human need for cognitive restoration, often misconstrued as loneliness. Your brain actively needs periods of social disengagement to consolidate memories, process complex emotions, and foster divergent thinking, the kind that leads to novel solutions. Many profound discoveries and artistic creations stem directly from periods of intense, deliberate isolation. Consider Newton developing calculus during plague-induced quarantine, or Dickinson crafting her poetry in almost complete seclusion. These aren't anomalies. They reflect a consistent pattern where intellectual breakthroughs flourish away from constant social stimuli. The constant stream of social input acts like a noise floor, making it harder for weak, nascent ideas to gain traction in your mind. By removing this noise, solitude amplifies your internal signals, allowing you to connect disparate concepts and generate truly original thoughts. It's not just about thinking, it's about unthinking the social constructs that often limit our creative scope.